It's YouTube basketball talk, boys, because the girls don't care. What's up, buddy?
Not much. Let's get into it. What
All
are
right.
what are we up to at this point?
So it's OKC. I don't have it written down, but it's OKC versus the old Nugs. MVP versus MVP. And then the other West is Rockets versus Warriors. So, oh no, that's already over.
I
That
was
finished.
I was
I was
gonna
wrong.
say
Yeah, it's the Wolves versus Warriors. Will Draymond end up choking Rudy Gobert again?
probably.
Probably. Yeah. If you're a betting man, I'd put the over on that.
And look, right before this we were just shit talking Draymond, but in that instance it's like,
Yeah, it's like
let
that.
him play.
Yeah, that was one of the few times that people were like, probably had it coming. And then it's Pacers versus the Cavs. Pacers are already up. It's gonna be a clean sweep, baby.
No, it's not.
And then and then last it's the Knicks versus the Celtics. So,
Boy,
oh,
can two teams lose?
hey, don't worry. They're both gonna lose to the Pacers
To the
somehow. Because
Cavs, I know. I know.
so like, okay, we'll start with the Pacers Cavs. I think the Pacers got like this is my bias side. I think the Pacers got a shot taking them in six. I also think so. Like that's speaking from the heart. I think otherwise Cavs will take them in six. If I like
I
my non-biased side is coming out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Cavs in six, but I'm just rooting for old Donnie to win one, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem though. It's like so the Pacers actually kind of discovered. I think his name's Nimhard. He's a really good perimeter defender, and it's like when he came back, that's when they started winning. And so it's like, well, now that they have that, they actually have that. I'm less worried. Like if it had been like pre Nimhard being awesome, I'd be like, yeah, these are gonna be like a series where they average like 150 points a game, and it's just gonna be a. But now I'm like, well, maybe Nimhard can help us beat these guys.
Mm.
But then with the Knicks versus Celtics, I think Celtics are just gonna take them, and probably I don't have I. You already know I don't have faith in the Knicks and Thibodeau as a coach, so that's part of it. But yeah, I think Celtics in five or six. Like I said, no faith in the Knicks.
I don't either, but I just can't bring myself to call the Celtics, so I'm gonna say Knicks in seven.
I hope you're right. I mean, they built that team to play against the Celtics with all their wings and stuff, but like Thibodeau's like they're all like, Thibodeau, we're so tired. And he's like, okay, don't worry, there's only 40 minutes left, guys. And then afterwards, we got practice. Like I saw an interview where Joe Kim Noah was talking about that. He's like, yeah, when we're on the Bulls, we'd get done with a back to back, and then Thibodeau would have us fucking at practice the next day and like doing fucking defensive slides. It's like he doesn't think about anything other than like he's like, all right, coach of the year, yeah, yeah, defensive number one defensive rating in the league, yeah, this is awesome.
Right.
And then Warriors versus T-Wolves. I'm gonna go Wolves in six, but again, because I just hate the Warriors, but it's like I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors pulled it off.
Yeah. I don't really hate the Warriors. I hate Draymond, but
Yeah.
I really do enjoy watching Steph. Um,
And you got a good buddy, or at least I don't know if you guys are still good buddies since he moved all the, far away that was a Warriors fan. Because I wanted to choke him sometimes because he'd be talking about the Warriors so much whenever he'd hang out when I was with you and he was there too. It's Jeff.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot all about that. That was
Yeah.
funny.
I'm just
Um,
like, "Grr." Like you're a great guy. So that's why I'm not going to do it. But my God.
uh, yeah. I mean, on the flip side, it's like I think Ant is extremely entertaining,
Mhm.
but the more I learn about him as a person, I like him less.
Yeah.
So that paired with like not liking Rudy anymore, it's like I don't know, kind of pulling for the Warriors here.
Oof.
So I'll say Also, Dante is on his fucking villain arc up there in Minnesota, dude. Like he's out for blood.
Yeah.
They have a good team. You know,
Hmm.
love them or hate them, they have a good team. But
I'm still like I'm personally still not convinced about Julius Randle being a good, and same with Rudy Gobert being a good playoff player. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I'm just like I don't
well,
know.
I mean, I thought several times that Gobert and Donnie could have made it happen. And
Mm,
Jordan Clarkson, like they had a really solid Jazz team. They just
yeah.
couldn't get it done. So I don't know. I guess I'll say Warriors and I'm gonna go six.
All right. And then lastly, MVP versus MVP, the old Jokic Nuggets versus SGA's OKC. Who you got?
I kind of hate saying it, but I'm gonna say Nuggets because I kind of want Russ to get one, you
I
know?
mean, I would love that too, but I really do think OKC and probably seven.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna be a really good series.
I do too. Unless Jokic is just worn out from his last series, you know.
I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah,
And
I mean, he
the
always
guy's
looks it.
slow as hell, you know, but then he
Yeah,
just half
right.
court drills it. So uh I'll say I'll say Nugs and not to keep saying six, but six.
All right, on man. So come back whenever the series are over, and we'll talk about the other. Uh, so we talked about this last week, but here's a fun little rumor. Did you hear the Spurs are very interested in trying to trade for Giannis?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just it's that time of year, man. The Bucks lose a playoff series, so everyone thinks Giannis is gone.
And
It literally every year this happens.
I'm going to say this too, though. It's like that would be a dumb move on both their parts because, like, first off, the Spurs don't need a win now player to get them in the middle of the fucking West. You know what I mean? It's like just keep building your guys. Trade for someone younger if you want someone, you know. Like I would rather them trade for Zion, but still like if you could get him healthy because at least he fits closer to the age that they have, that you know, the age core that they have than Giannis who's like, you know, 30 something and he's going to be past his prime by the time they're actually ready to win a championship and still getting paid this insane amount of money. And
Mhm.
then with the Bucks, it's like they don't own their draft picks. If you know, like
Right.
if they wanted to trade Giannis, like the best trade would be like to um the Pelicans probably because they own all their draft picks.
I had to double check it, but Giannis is just 30.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times people think he's older than he is.
Yeah. It seems like he's been in the league for forever.
Well, he
So
has.
yeah.
It's just he came in when he was super young.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But
all
would you
right.
get a Giannis you know, Spurs jersey?
No.
You get the Giannis, I'll get the Wimby, and then we'll get a Fox one for Hallie.
Hell, I don't even have a Giannis Bucks jersey. So
Yeah. I mean I'm surprised you know hop all over the Cream City one.
no, if they bring back the purple ones, I would.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do that because they were doing that for so many of the other teams, like their retro
Mhm.
ones and shit. And then it's like that one would look pretty darn cool, especially like minor updates like they do with all of them, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, they technically have two purple jerseys. There's the one with the deer like swooping down the
Yeah.
side, and then just their logo one. I like just the logo one, but I would be happy with either one.
See, I would prefer the like but I'm like a lot more gaudy than you. So like I would like the deer one because I'm like, yeah,
Mm.
I need it to look as gaudy as possible, please.
I mean, it still looks cool for sure.
Yeah. Man, that was the best era of fucking jerseys because you had that, you had the Suns, the Raptors, the um Utah Jazz, the
Hmm.
old Bulls, you know.
I love the old Grizzlies one. I thought that one was so
Yeah,
cool.
it is awesome. And then
But
Charlotte Hornets have always had a good jersey. They've always been a shitty team. Actually, not always, but they've been a shitty team for a long time. But their jerseys have been awesome.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm remembering the right one. When they were the Bobcats, did they have a cool logo, or am I just like
I think
misremembering?
the logo kind of looked neat, but that was I mean, it's I don't
Eh,
even.
not as good as I remember.
Okay,
It's okay.
they were so fucking shit. Like it was impressive. Like record-breakingly bad.
Right. Ownership, uh, you know, championship doesn't translate well when it's
Yeah,
ownership, we'll say that.
yeah. So like I think so. I don't really remember how this worked, but because the New Orleans became, like they left Charlotte and became the Pelicans, but they were still the Hornets for a while. Then we had the Charlotte Hornets or the Charlotte Bobcats, and then the Hornets became the Pelicans, and then the Bobcats were like, "We suck. I guess we'll become the Hornets again because at least we were cool."
Speaking of sports stuff, real quick, last night was game seven for the Blues and the Winnipeg Jets. And I was like, well, I haven't watched any playoff hockey because my team wasn't in it. I'll watch this game seven for St. Louis. Jesus Christ. They were up 3-1 with 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, the Jets scored a goal, made it 3-2. 3.6 seconds left. The Jets tie it up. It goes into overtime. It goes into second
Oh
overtime.
Lord.
Jets win. I was just like, I stayed up late for this. I was like, dude, I mean, that it is such a St. Louis Blues thing for that
Yeah.
to occur. You know what I mean?
But hey, man, they weren't even supposed to be here this year. Like Nick was talking about
Mhm.
that. They went on that fucking insane win streak. So it's like,
A record
yeah.
breaking win streak.
So it's like, good on them.
No, no, it totally is. It's just imagine if they did that to then like go deeper into the
Yeah.
playoffs, right?
100%.
But whatever.
Do you want to talk about Free Comic Book Day here or on the other?
Yeah, on the pod because
All right.
we got light releases and light news, I think.
Right.
So, okay, I'll start us off here.
All right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds Podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Rudy Gobert to my Anthony Edwards. It's Casey. What's up?
S'il vous plaît, mon ami.
And touch your microphone.
Yeah. And
Get it?
then
Because he gave the entire league COVID.
and then next week, Jake's like,
I know, right? God, please no. I don't need that.
like, how did you get COVID over Zoom?
Well,
The Rudy
if
Gobert
anyone
powers in
could
me.
do it, it's Rudy. All right. We don't have any comments, so before we get into the news, you suggested I talk a little bit about Free Comic Book Day. It was a good day. Um, it's kind of funny because last week I'm looking at the weather because obviously
hmm
it's like a big event. Gotta check the weather. It's like it's gonna be 67 and sunny all day. Like fuck yeah, perfect weather. 3 days before the event, it's like it's still gonna be around 67, but partly cloudy. Like, okay, at least the weather's nice. Day before, it's like, 75% chance of rain for half the day.
Oh
It's like,
Lord.
well, son of a bitch. Day of. It rained all fucking day, dude. Just just from start to finish, it was raining.
Yeah.
Thankfully, normally I hate how my weird ass building is set up with just the layout, like it's all
Yeah.
kind of at diagonals. But it helped with the rain this time because those awnings are pretty deep.
Yeah.
Um, and really, as far as I could tell, the weather did not affect anything. We had
Good.
a crazy crowd. It was an extremely busy day. We had lots and lots and lots of sales, so it was pretty awesome. Our
Good.
guests were great as always. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna ask since like because I saw the video that Mike posted. People were in front of like the vape shop. Was that dude cool? And he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys can be in front of my place and all that." Or was he
Oh
kind of
yeah, no, I mean every they've been there. This is like the third year.
okay?
Um, but the first year I went over, I was just like, hey, Saturday is free comic book day. It's our biggest day of the year. Would it bother you if I had two tables up in front of your window? He was like, hell no, dude. Make your money. I
Nice.
was like, okay, thank you very
Be,
much.
it'd be funny
Um,
if he was like, "You got to pay the toll first," and it's like he just wants some free comics.
well, that first year, his family came over and they have young kids, so they picked up some books.
Oh, nice.
Um, I don't love the business, but
Yeah,
I'm totally, totally cool with the guys that run it.
nice.
So yeah, anyway, the last 2 years I've just been like, hey, like
Yeah,
last year, we're doing this thing. Just want to make sure it's still cool because I don't want to make any assumptions. But
yeah,
yep, all was good there. But
good.
yeah, busy day. It's like a part of me thinks like, man, let's say it was 67 and sunny. Would that have been better, or would that have been like too nice for people to like go out and do other things? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like you never know.
it might have been just might be too nice because it's like shitty weather out, you're gonna want to sit down and read. That's what I
Hmm.
did.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah. But yeah, anyway, it was a great, great year.
great, man. I'm glad. One
Mhm.
of these days I'll be back for it, I promise.
Yeah, all good. I know it's a long trip for what it is, you know?
Well, and it's not just like this year, it wasn't just that. It's like first off, it's usually in a bad time because we're usually planting. But then also like this year, it's like you know how much I got to spend right now on doctor bills.
Yeah, no part of me thought Casey's in a good
Yeah.
spot in multiple facets of life to make this trip happen.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I think I got a good excuse this time.
Yeah. But next year, you
Yeah.
better fucking be
Yeah.
there.
I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm in the hospital again, I promise.
You fucking better be, or I'm gonna put you there.
It's like I got someone going there. Which one you're at? I'm like, oh,
All right. Now we can go on to the news. Um, most of mine is about diamonds, so I'll do the one thing that's not diamond.
okie dokie.
So it came out this week. Jeremy Renner said that he turned down a Hawkeye season two because they offered him half of the salary they paid him for season one. And he had a very funny quote that I'm sure everyone has seen that he was like, well, just because I got ran over doesn't mean I'm half a Jeremy.
So funny.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? Good for you, man.
Yeah.
If you want that money, then fucking get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Disney. It's not like they don't have it.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I'll talk about my shit really quick. There's nothing major, but like I guess Clayface is gonna start filming in October.
Oh, I
So,
forgot that was a thing.
yeah, I kind of wish it wasn't because it's so stupid. But speaking of movies that no one asked for, Sergeant Rock is no longer getting in production. It's now on hold. I'm guessing because they couldn't get the people casted they wanted and all that, and it's also
Yeah.
just a bad idea for a new universe to try to do a World War II period piece. No matter how cool it would be, if you're trying to build
Hmm.
your universe, bad idea.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I would still 100% watch that.
Yeah, like from a business standpoint, it's dumb. From
Hmm.
me as a person that would want to see it, I'm like, yeah, but I know it would make how much are tickets right now? Like $7. Like it'd make like
At least.
$15. You and me seeing it, just like we did Craven. And then this one, like I guess Will Poulter is reportedly in talks to play a character in the DCU. He played Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And so the rumor is it's going to be Adam Strange. I'm not convinced that's a thing, but who knows with
He's like,
the
I'm only playing Adams.
yeah. It's like
Don't
that's
fucking call me if their name's not Adam.
he's like that's my range. But no, he's a good actor. I like him, but I just don't think that's a thing. Like him being Adam Strange. I think for sure he'll get cast because I think James Gunn likes him. And
Hmm.
that's about, like to get cast in a James Gunn movie, it seems like he's gotta like being around you.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna
Well,
happen. And
I mean, to be fair,
to be fair, yeah.
I think the people he's tight with, they're pretty much good ones, right? Like they're
Yeah.
charismatic,
Yeah.
fun people.
Yeah.
So
Like I wasn't making that as like a knock at all. I was
yeah,
just saying like
yeah, I know.
he's less likely to take a chance on like I feel like he's less likely to take a chance on someone that there's a chance they could be dicks
Hmm.
versus being like, I know this guy, I like him.
Hmm. Yeah.
Which is like fair enough. I get it. And then this I thought you might be excited about, so I wrote it down. DC and Sonic have teamed up with Jack Specific for a new crossover toy, like set. So we'll see how it looks. I'm gonna be honest, the only time I ever had Jack Specific toys were like way back when I was younger, and they were I'm pretty sure old WWE toys, and they fucking sucked. So we'll see if it holds up to that.
I was gonna ask you, since you're the toy guy of the group, if that was a good thing or not. But
I mean, like I said, I've not seen them in forever, but they had like, if I remember correctly, it was just like it would be like, oh, look at this. This is I'm trying to think of a character like this is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then you'd be like, oh, and here's Kane, and they would have the same exact body, but Kane would be painted differently
yep,
and have a mask. And that's
yep.
how it was throughout the line. You'd be like, Tori Wilson has the same body as Steve Austin. That's crazy.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I have to be extremely selective about, toys and statues at this point, just
Yeah.
because, as you know, Casey, room is everything, right?
Yep.
So it's like it'd have to be a pretty cool set for me to jump on it. And also, even if the toys themselves do suck, it's just gonna sit on a shelf. So it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to move and be a shitty toy that Casey would easily break as a child.
Well, that's the thing. Those Jack Pacific ones, they were hard plastic. I was not breaking those.
You tried your hardest though.
Yeah, like because I mean the wrestling toys were where I was breaking most of my stuff. Because every once in a while I'd be like Spider-Man's in the ring, but like I had these old, they were like
Was he
old
fighting
rubber.
Bonesaw?
No, he'd be fighting Big Van Vader usually because Big Van Vader was kicking everybody's ass. But I had this Vader toy, and it was like a lot of the like before the Jack Pacific one. There was these ones where they were like rubber, kind of, and like they would have like bone breaking action where you can move their arms or legs and it'd crack. Man, that Vader, he's missing fingers. He broke in half a couple of times, and I glue him back together and put him back in the ring.
Dude, nobody was harder on toys than you were.
Like I'll say, no one was harder on toys than I was that were not doing it on purpose. Because I was just like, you're almost killing each other.
But you know what? At the same time, that's what they were there for.
Hell yeah,
You were just
man.
playing with your toys. That's fine. All right, let's talk about Diamond. Everyone's favorite time of the pod.
Diamond talk. We need like the breaking news.
I know. Well, shit, we could have done that for the last six
I
months.
know.
Okay. So Diamond sent out a mass email to uh, their clients, aka Comic Headquarters being included in that said that their bankruptcy paperwork mishaps were unavoidable and that they expect the United States trustee to withdraw its request to liquidate them soon. So I think it's hilarious that it took the threat of being liquidated for them to even send out one single email about
Right.
everything. Um, and I'm just thinking, is it unavoidable? There was some other article that I read, um, and it was a Diamond employee that was just like we as employees literally find out the same way you guys do, like through these articles and shit. They like nothing is communicated inside. Um, like essentially just begging the company to be a little bit better for its employees. Like it was honestly an extremely sad read.
Yeah.
Um, at the same time, like I don't really, I don't know where this person is within the company, but it's just like every department that I've had to deal with is that shitty though. So it's like
Yeah.
I get that it all starts at management, right? Like that's
Hmm.
that's your leadership and that's the example that's set for the rest of the company. But everyone's doing it. So it's
Yeah.
it's hard to have it's hard to have too much sympathy, even though, people's livelihoods are at stake here. It's like your company did it to itself.
Hmm.
Um, and then Diamond was back in court on Wednesday. Alliance, who had the initial winning bid to buy them, is filing a lawsuit against them, alleging fraud and deception on Diamond's part. I guess they weren't told everything that they should have been told, and they weren't happy about it. Um, and I don't know what's going to happen there. But then the next bit after that is that the bankruptcy court has then gone on and approved Diamond's sale to Universal Entertainment and Ad Populum. Several weeks ago, I mentioned that there was, the backup bidder was a joint between those two companies, but the court has gone ahead and approved that. I don't know what they're going to distribute at this point. I guess maybe Funko if they still have that deal with Funko. Um, but we're not even sure yet if everything, all those assets tied to Diamond go with it or not. That was
Hmm.
unclear at the time. So it's like, okay, let's say they do get Diamond Select toys, sure. If they get the title Free Comic Book Day, are the publishers gonna send stuff to them to make that a thing? Because
Right.
I personally think that Penguin and Lunar just be like, we need to keep Free Comic Book Day moving, even if we call it something different. Let's just team up, make sure we have the same words or logo on these books, and we'll just do that every year, right?
Yep.
I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, I think they'd be dumb not to because it's like it's clear as day just from the way it sounds like with your business. And I've been to other comic book shops that have done free comic book day. It's like, yeah, it does really well for people. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that the concept of the event goes away. It's just like, man, what capacity is it going to be after this?
yeah. But why don't you guys let us know down below? What do you think about all the Diamond news and Jack Pacific toys? And was I too rough on my toys? Just let us know.
Yeah.
Should I feel bad for I think I broke Road Dog's head off one time, and that was my brother's toy. I think I glued it back.
That one probably, just a little bit.
Well, it's like he outgrew him, and I was like, in high school, so I outgrew him too, and I was still just battling away him and Mark Henry. I'm exaggerating about the high school, but it was probably too old to be playing with toys.
No doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, it was like sixth grade, seventh grade in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Toys are fine at that
yeah,
age.
fair. Okay,
You know?
wrestling toys that you just beat the shit out of are
Yeah.
fine. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But I mean, it's middle school. Come on.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, all
Let's know how
right.
old you were when you were still playing with wrestling toys or any type of toys.
I don't know. I mean, does getting them out of the package and just kind of like fiddling with them count as playing? Because I mean, I've done
No.
that recently.
No, I don't think so, because if that's the case, then I'm still doing it. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say you're still doing it.
well,
Come
I
on, you're
never,
telling me after some unboxings, occasionally you don't pick up your Godzilla toys and just a little light.
I did that once on video just for funny, but no, I don't because I'm like terrified I'll break something because
And they're
fucking
expensive now.
maniac.
All right. Well, what'd you read this week,
All
man?
right, man. So I read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution. I also read like all my stuff from last week too, but I'm not gonna get into that. Godzilla versus Spider-Man, issue 1. Oh, by the way, dude, thank you for all the variants and stuff from that and the posters and stuff. Because some of those variants that you sent me for those Fantastic Four and the Incredible Hulk, so darn cool.
Yeah, man. I thought you'd like them.
Yeah. And then I read Red Hulk number 3, World's Finest Annual number 1, and Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue 7 of 10. What about you?
And I forgot that that annual. That bums me out because I had a very light week this week.
Dude, like you're like, I think that's one part of this. Like you even told me that on the podcast.
Well, hey, man, I kind of had a lot going on this week at
Like,
work.
like what? Something like was there a big event or something?
Yeah, something like that. All right, so I read The Last Halloween, Spider-Man versus Godzilla, Snot Girl, and Lost Fantasy number.
I think I have one more than you, so I'll start. The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution. And this is by Tom Waltz and Kevin Eastman, art by Asa and Isaac Escorza and Ben Bishop. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really not feeling this book.
That's
It's
the
like
last
there's
issue, isn't it?
if it is, I'm just
I'm
gonna
I'm
I'm gonna
pretty sure it is.
I mean, if it is, okay, because they're gonna be doing like they're doing more because the way it ends, I'm like, this would be insane if they ended it this way. Because we always spoil it, give you a Last Ronin 2 spoiler, skip ahead a little bit. April O'Neil gets killed, and then it's revealed that the guy that's trying to bang Casey, not me, is like actually part of the Foot, and him and his brother are trying to take back over the world. That's how it ended, was that big reveal. So I'm like, if it ends this way, that's insane. That's batshit. But yeah, they're gonna just have they have to come out with another one. But I don't know if I'll check it out because it's just like there's long waits in between each one, and by the time they bring it back, I'm like, I'm not really invested in these characters. Like I like the turtles, they're kind of cool, especially the big one, but that's about it.
Right.
So yeah, it's probably a 5 for me. I'm just like, yeah, it's not worth it.
You want to do another one?
I mean, I can.
Do both turtles or something?
Well, I don't have two turtles, man.
I thought you said you had regular Ninja Turtles and then
Regular
Last
Ninja
Ronin.
Turtles was last week.
Oh, okay, that's
And dude,
fine.
that book was so good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was awesome. It would have been my pick of the week last week. So,
Excellent.
Red Hulk by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw. This is good. It's been good. Red Hulk is teaming up with Deathlock, and I think it's Trask is the dude's name. I think it's Trask. No, it's Riker. And and then they were teaming up with the Machine Man, but his battery's dead, so they're just dragging him around. And Ross doesn't have his Hulk powers back yet. And so yeah, they're doing this, and like Deathlock is just like every once in a while there'll be Doom bots, and Deathlock will just like he has a hold of Machine Man, and he just like whips them at him because his arms extend, and like takes out a bunch and shit. It's pretty fun. And so yeah, it's cool. We'll see where it goes. Like, like I said, I like it more than I thought, but it's also Benjamin Percy. He kind of speaks to my dumb 90s comic stuff that I like. So, I'll probably go 8 out of 10.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Lost Fantasy. I got this variant just because I thought it was really cool. It's an obvious Final Fantasy
Oh, nice.
like it looks like the game, the PS1. What do you even call that? Like the case, the game case art.
Yeah. They should have gone with the best Final Fantasy, number 10.
Well, if only. But it is by Kurt Pines and Luca Casalanguida. I mean, it's okay. It's a really weird book. It's like this kid gets kidnapped and being chased by something. So, like, this FBI, or maybe it is the FBI, some sort of agency, um, sends this guy who is their agent out to see what happens. And he can, like, summon monsters and his big old sword that you see on the cover to help him find clues and whatnot. And while he's out there looking for stuff, he's fighting these other monsters, and then the issue ends with the sniper shooting him, and you think he's dead. And it's just like, oh, okay. Art's pretty neat. I don't know. Like the story really is kind of intriguing. It just didn't grasp me like I wanted it to. So
I gotcha.
I don't think I'm gonna keep going with it.
If it's another week like this, though, would you?
No,
Oh,
I
damn.
don't think so.
Damn.
So probably like a five.
Alrighty. Man, we're starting off not the best.
Yep.
All right, so Batman, Superman, World's Finest Annual, number one. This is by, so the script is by Christopher Cantwell, but then the plot is also by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell with Dan McDade's art. Feels like a little bit of a bait and switch with Dan McDade because the art's fine, but we got Dan Moore on the cover. It's like you're setting him up for failure right off the bat. This is my least favorite of this whole arc so far, the We Are Yesterday thing, because it's like since it is an annual, it's just kind of like this is what I did before the comic ever started. I'm
Right.
Grodd. Casey loves monkeys, so he should love this issue. But so yeah, it just like there wasn't like I said, there wasn't a lot that happened. Like the end, there's a thing that happens that's like, oh yeah, this will probably carry over, but the rest, I think you're fine missing it. If I'm being honest, like I don't think it doesn't really affect the main story that much. So yeah, it's probably a six for me.
Okay. Snot Girl, number 20. It's by Brian Lee O'Malley and Leslie Hung, and it is the conclusion to this arc. It was really good. I can't really explain plot stuff because none of it's going to make sense if you're not reading it.
Yeah.
But it's, funny as always. Lottie, who is the main character, kind of makes up with her girlfriend, learns a lot of stuff about her mom and her aunt from when they were younger. And then at the end, the kind of cliffhanger is that her girlfriend is getting canceled for some stuff that she said online. So I just know that whatever comes of that is going to be super funny. Now, here's the bummer, because there's this whole page on the back from the creative team that says they're going to do another volume, but it's not going to be in single issues. They're going to do it as a trade paperback, but that means that we have to wait till next year for it to be finished and come out. And but they're like, we're going to do what we have to do in order to keep the story going. Even though we took a long unexplained break in the middle there, we plan to continue until we get to the end. Um, but it's just like, man, it's your fault that it's like this because you took so many years off.
Yeah.
I mean, Saga sort of did it too. It's just as much as I love this book, it's not to the level of fame of Saga. You don't have Saga numbers behind Snotgirl.
Yeah.
So hell, the guy fucking created Scott Pilgrim and it still came to this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, So it's just a bummer. Um, Even says the issues have been selling less and less copies, and we simply must stop. We're making negative dollars. But the trades continue to sell extremely well, so that's why we're going to do just a trade only going forward. And it's like, well, given the circumstances, I guess that makes sense, and I hope that it works out. It just sucks because I really like looking at all the pretty covers and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. I know it's a little provocative, but the art's so good, right? And I love
Yeah.
the colors and all that. So anyway, um, it's probably an 8.5, and it's my pick of the week. I know that's crazy to say, that
Yeah.
low of a rating, but I mean, there just wasn't really shit out this week.
Yeah. But no, like I'm like you though. It's like, yeah, you're not, yeah, of course your numbers are going down when you took that long off
Yeah.
in between issues. It's just like it sucks,
With
but
with comics, there's on any given week 75 other options.
Mhm.
Think of all the stuff that I don't order in, man. I mean, there's just billions of options out there. And if you take that long off, people are going to forget you. They moved on to the next thing. They picked up a book in place of that one and they loved it and continued with that instead.
And then also the price of books now. Like I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's probably 4.99.
Uh,
And or I mean it might be 3.99, but still it's like yeah, if you have a pull list and you got all these books
it's
coming out.
3.99,
Okay, well
thankfully.
that's not near as bad, but
Yeah.
it's like yeah, the book that hadn't come out for a couple of years and then you're like, well, I'm reading all these other books that I like now. I really
Hmm.
don't want to pick up another book for that amount of money while I'm on a budget.
Dude, I mean, if I didn't have the shop, I probably wouldn't be reading it, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Does Mike still like it though? Because I know he's the big fan of that writer.
I doubt he read past the first arc. I really don't
Oh
think Mike
wow.
keeps up with anything.
I know he doesn't keep up with me.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
All right, dude. It's time for our Muchies. Which order do you want to do them in?
And I'd like to end on Batman if it's all the same.
That's fine, dude. That's how I had it. So for Godzilla versus Spider-Man, Joe Kelly and Nick Bradshaw on the art.
Real quick before you get into the actual book, I know I sent this to you too, but I've been getting these for me because I just adore the Fight Night
Yeah.
poster variant covers. I
They're
think they're
awesome.
sick as hell.
That was like the best part of that Anti-Monitor versus Darkseid thing.
Yep, it's still up in the shop too, all faded as hell.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna say this. I love this issue personally. I thought it was dumb and awesome. I love the art in it. Like you get beef, yeah, it's everyone's beefcakes in it, including Mary Jane and Black Cat.
Shocker.
Yeah, and Shocker. Dude, I can I just like really off subject. Charles Soule wrote one of like the best Shocker related things in a comic book ever in the She-Hulk run. Have I ever told you about that?
I know you have, but I don't
Okay.
remember.
Because like he got wrongfully accused of something. She-Hulk helped him, help get him off of those charges and stuff. And so then like she asks him for help for something. Like I don't remember what it was, but he's like, "Well, I can try to jog my memory by using the vibrations in my gun to make it work." And she's like, "That's a terrible idea." He's like, "No, you help me, I'll do it." And he does it, and he then is able to tell her this stuff. And she's like, you invented those." And he's like, "Yeah." She's like, "You know what good you could do with like that brain power?" And he's like, "You know what's crazy? Me and the bad guys say the same thing about you guys. If you had that brain power, what you could do for our side." I'm like, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
But yeah, like yeah, there's some shocker at the beginning, and it's Spider-Man dealing with the black suit, which I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of play fast and loose with the black suit rules, which I was a little like, I'm like, come on, Joe Kelly. But I'll get
Yeah.
into that. But yeah, so like Godzilla roars really loud, and the black suit just bonds with him, and then it's kind of revealed that like, yeah, Godzilla's like he should be killing the suit, but now we got Godzilla Venom, which I'm all about. Like this is the type of dumb fan service I wanted in the Fantastic Four one and whatnot that we just didn't get because they're just like, nah, he's silver. That's the amount of my
It's waving at you.
ingenuity. It's like I make him silver. That'll work.
Right.
It's stupid. But so yeah, we get Venom Godzilla and then he's getting like and since he should like he's getting hit with missiles. And that should affect the symbiote or the loud noises of the fucking missiles exploding should affect it's like the symbiote's like, nah, it doesn't work now. So it's like I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of dumb. But then Spider-Man uses, he uses the old shocker on Godzilla and it wakes him up out of it and Godzilla fights the symbiote and wins and then we get Eddie Brock as God Venom, which is like my God, that's a 90s ass character that I would love.
Yep. I thought the same thing, dude.
Like even without the Godzilla connection, I'm just like, this is so cool. There was a speaking of like random Venom stuff, because I used to love Venom as a kid, and there was this one toy that I had. I'm gonna see if I can just find a picture of it while I'm talking. And it was like this super beefed up Venom, and he had a bunch of little heads on his shoulders. And I'm like, this is the coolest Venom. I need it. But I'm like, because I guess he got like some chemicals on him and stuff, which like, because that's what Nick told me when I was a kid. So then I just thought all chemicals were the same. So I'm like, if I get chemicals on me,
Oh
I didn't
no.
do it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So what would
I
you rate it, man?
um probably like a seven. Like I don't know. I mean, I mostly picked it up because I was like, holy shit, we need something to talk about during the reviews. But I mean, I didn't like love it by any means. Like it was fine and fun, but I think this was definitely just made for, fans like you.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's a 9.5. I absolutely loved it. I'm
Good.
like outside of the random shit that I'm like, oh, technically the symbiote should be very vulnerable to those missiles right now.
Right.
That type of stuff. But other than that, it's awesome. I'll probably end up having to find, oh, here it is. I was like, oh, I'll have to find it online, but and then post it on the Twitter for those that are wondering. You can if it yeah, there we go.
Okay, sure, sure.
Yeah. He He was this big old beefy boy. And you could press the button on his back, and all the heads would kind of like pop up.
Right. Okay. And that leaves us with The Last Halloween, number seven. And it's by Jeff Loeb and Dave Johnson. It was kind of cool to see Dave Johnson do interiors since he does a lot of covers nowadays. So I think the art was good. It just definitely wasn't like refined as his covers would be, but I'm not saying that it's bad by any means because it's absolutely not bad.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought the story was, pretty cool. Um, I was trying to find a part. I, holding Catwoman down and saying, "You will not thank me for this," I thought was kind of weird. I was like,
Yeah.
huh, did we really need that in here? But other than that, I think it's just been as solid as the rest of the issue. It's definitely the strongest thing that Loeb's doing right now, I think.
Yeah. I forgot to talk to you about that. But yeah, no, it's good. I really like the art too. The story's solid. Like we get some of the melodrama from Robin and Batman, which is like I haven't read Dark Victory in a while, but it really felt like he was trusting him at the end of Dark Victory, and it's like all of that stuff seems gone, and now he's like it's kind of back to square one, which is like maybe I just like I haven't read Dark Victory in years too, so it could just be that.
Yeah, but I do think that kind of gets remedied by the end with
Yeah,
like, the flowers at the graves and stuff.
yeah. I mean I like how they're written together. It's like that's just the
Hmm.
one thing where I'm like I don't remember it being this bad at Dark Victory, and that was like when they were first together.
Yeah.
That's really my only complaint with it. I enjoyed it. I'm probably at a 9 for it. I think it's well written and it's good. Like people really should be reading it.
Yeah. Um, Probably another 8.5 for me. I
Right
think
on.
I liked it as much as I did Snot Girl. I just had to give it to that because that's the end of single issues for that
Fair
series.
enough. So, in this very light week, what are you excited about coming up? Or light for me? Is there anything that you're actually reading that are you reading more?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean Sonic.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Um, Probably Resurrection Man. Like I'm very interested in that number two. And then uh either Birds of Prey or JSA, I think.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's
Well,
gonna be
I mean,
J.
X-Men's always good, right? I don't know
Yeah.
why I didn't think of that.
Yeah. I gotta go JSA, Two-Face, and probably The Moon is Following Us. Like that a lot. Okay, so last thing, Fantastic Four time. I was just thinking, we got Superman Day, you got Batman Day. What other characters are you like? I wish Bibbo, Batman's friend, had a day. Like who else do you think deserves a day, especially as a comic book shop owner, where you're like, yeah, give me some free Plastic Man comics that I can then give out to my customers.
Yeah. Um, I mean, it might be a little biased, but I think Thor is big enough to have a day.
Yeah.
Um, could have some fun with that, I think. Let's see. Is it weird to say Moon Knight Day? Kind of contradictory
A
to
little
that
bit.
character. But also, I mean, I don't know. Moon Knight's popularity has grown a bunch in the last few years, but I
Yeah.
feel like at one time that would have been a just a Jake thing.
Yeah.
Um, Man, I'm trying to do characters we don't have days for. We have a day for the three Trinity members. So
Okay, so do you have one for like Spider-Man? Like, does Marvel have a day for anybody?
not like DC that I could think of.
Yeah.
I can't go and order Spider-Man Day stuff like I can for Batman,
Yeah.
Superman, and Wonder Woman. So yeah, you're right. Spider-Man probably should have one.
Especially at your shop. Don't your guys is like, I mean, obviously it's a comic book shop, so of course they like Spider-Man, but like it's a big
Yeah,
seller for you guys. That'd be
it
really.
is. It's a huge seller. Um, Also, I'll say, and not to go all Marvel, but Star Wars probably should have a
Oh yeah.
day.
Yeah. I mean it already has the May 4th. You could just do
Hmm.
something, like have them do something for that shit. But
Well, that always falls on Free Comic Book Day weekend,
oh,
though.
fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, and then for me, Spider-Man was on my list, and then Wolverine was the other Marvel character that I
Wolverine,
was thinking
yeah, that's
about.
a good
Because like
one.
I'm like those two would get butts in seats for sure.
Hmm.
And then probably I think Flash, because I think Flash and Green Lantern are
Oh
probably
yeah,
the next two in DC. I mean, if there's someone else from DC that we're missing, that would be above those two as far as
probably
cool,
not.
like likeness. Maybe I mean maybe Arrow at one time, but
Yeah,
they kind of did a lot to move him away from the comic book ones. I don't know, how much crossover there is.
I think an argument could be made for just a general Robin Day.
That's true too. I was thinking like Nightwing, but yeah, you could just do Robin, all of
Hmm.
them type of stuff. Yeah. And that would be like the thing that the writers would love to write the most for that day too. The creators would be like, yeah, I want to, of course, I want to write an all Robin book.
Yeah. And whenever they were doing those, 80th anniversaries a couple years ago, the Robin one I think sold the best anyways. So
Yeah. But why don't you guys let us know down below who you want to see in that, maybe you're like, how dare they not mention Amethyst Day?
dude, I'm all in for Amethyst
I
Day.
know, like you're the target audience for Amethyst Day.
Hell yeah. All
I
right,
feel like
guys.
you still might be salty at Mark Waid over that issue, or no, it was Joshua Williamson over that issue with Superman when Amethyst shows up and then it's done.
Yeah, there was just fucking nothing. It's like, no. Williamson is a good writer. I want
Like
more.
it's like I've been waiting for this for years.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next week for another one, and we'd love to stay in chat, but we have to go give the whole league COVID and not pay child support. So we'll get you next time. See ya.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Worlds Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod, on Twitter at two_worlds_PC, and on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast. You can email us with any questions or comments at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com, and if you would, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube.